Hello, my friend. Oh my gosh, taking a break is good, but at the same time, I missed filming. Like, I missed just sitting here and filming and talking to you. How are you? How have you been? What's new? How's your 2022 going so far? Speaking of the new year, it is time to wrap up officially 2021 on the channel, and we're going to be talking about the worst products I tried this past year, counting all the way up to the best products that I tried this year. It's favorites and fails countdown, but for an entire year. I've got lots of stuff to show you. Hang tight. We're getting into it right now. All right, you know me, you know I cannot just do this. I always have to make things more complicated than they need to be. So we're gonna do more than just the countdown for 2021. I've got more than 10 products to show you. I have a lot to show you. We're going to start off with my favorite hashtag not sponsored features. Then we're going to start with the worst product that I tried in 2021, counting all the way up to the best product. And then I'm going to give you my top palettes, eyeshadow palettes specifically, of 2021. I really had a lot of trouble picking between my favorite palettes of the year, so I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown of some of my favorites that I tried this year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Best hashtag not sponsored features. If you've been to my favorites and fails countdowns before, you know that I like to highlight a small business or a charity or just a product that I've been loving, and I jotted down some of my favorites that I'm still absolutely loving. So the Ninja Foodi 8-in-1 digital air fry oven, oh my gosh, I'm still freaking loving that thing. Dehydrated bananas are still like chef's kiss perfection. Oh my gosh, so good. But you know what I've realized about that thing is I don't really like making dinner in it. It's more for like side items and the air fry option and the dehydrate option for me. And of course, my comfy, I'm still loving my comfies that my friend Audra from Audra at Home introduced me to. Those have been a staple in my life since that video. I still use them all the freaking time. As far as small businesses, my friends over at Nina's Cookie Explosion and Coco and Soy still absolutely love their products. City Pop Popcorn, I can't even tell you how many times I've ordered from them. At least 7, at least. Since I talked about them. And of course, my new favorite, locally crafted in Gaithersburg, Maryland, where my company, Mad Marshmallows, is now sold. So if you're interested in any of those companies or products, I will link them down below for you. Now, getting into makeup, let's talk about the worst product I tried in 2021. This one actually makes me really, really sad because I had high hopes for it. It smelled actually really good, but it had some significant serious issues. This is the Loli Date Night Brulee Miracle Balm. It's a cleansing balm. You could also use it for your cuticles, things like that. It was very pricey. I saw it on Ulta's website and I just thought it was beautiful. First off, this stuff, okay, you use it as a cleansing balm. It didn't really remove makeup very well. It was extremely greasy and it kind of smeared makeup, but I wouldn't say it removed it in any way. And speaking of removal, it was near impossible to remove from my skin completely. Even putting it on my face, rinsing with water, there's no way. Using another cleanser, still had significant difficulty getting it off of my face. The only way to get this off was to use another cleanser and a washcloth. And I don't personally like using a washcloth on my face. I find it to be too rough on my skin. So that was straight up out. But one thing I did not tell you, I don't think I told you, I might have told you, but this stuff went moldy. It was growing, literally growing mold. I will though give it the benefit of the doubt in that I did keep it in my bathroom. So I'm sure that that contributed to the mold that was growing on it. But it was downright disgusting. And the thing about mold is that you only know it's there when you can see it, but it's probably there before you can see it. So I was just absolutely disgusted that I was putting this on my face, rubbing it on my eyes with potential mold getting in my eyes. This well deserves the number 10 spot on the countdown for this year. Number 9 was actually sent in PR from Wet n Wild, and I'm really sad because this is my first time being on Wet n Wild PR, and I literally liked nothing that they sent me. And I'm rooting for Wet n Wild. I want them to do well. There's so many companies at lower price points putting out amazing products, and it's like they are just, Wet n Wild is just If there's anything you've been enjoying from Wet n Wild, I would love to know about it because they've just been failing all over. Their new brow line was absolutely awful. The thing about the brow gels is that they were clumpy. Now the clear brow gel, that came off white. Eventually it dried down to clear, but it came off white. But if you got one of those clumps, you ended up with a white clump in your brow. Not cute, right? The colored one, I guess, was a little bit better, the tinted one, but the problem with that one is that that one was also clumpy, and as you're trying to brush it out, it was very easy to get on the skin around the brow, so then you had to do like cleanup around it. Just really, really awful on the brow gels. Now the brow pencil, that was awful too. It was one of those really hard brow pencils that you have to scrub and scrub and scrub, and it was literally ripping out my eyebrow hairs because I had to scrub it so hard to get the color to apply. I mean, this is a brow product that I would compare to ones that I was using before I started my YouTube channel, when you had to like heat them with a lighter in order to get them to function. Like, we are way beyond this, Wet n Wild. We are way beyond this. It was extremely disappointing. It was very sad. I'm so glad I did not purchase them, but I would highly recommend thinking twice before purchasing them because they are really awful. As Jen gets kicked off of Wet n Wild PR. Number 8 was also set in PR. I think a lot of this stuff was because I felt like in 2021 with the pandemic and everything, and also my collection of cosmetics, the amount of PR I was getting, I didn't really want to purchase a whole lot. And I had plenty to review just coming in PR. So though I did make purchases, a lot of the stuff you're gonna see today is PR because I did cut down my purchases in order to cut down the amount of waste I'm creating. Disclaimer over, this is the Flower Beauty Supernova Celestial Priming Whip. Now, this was a really weird product. I thought it was kind of genius that it was in a foam. I've never seen a priming foam before. Apparently they exist from other brands. I had never seen it before. I thought it was really cool, such a great concept, just putting something that we typically use in a different format. But the problem with it is that the smell was awful. It did have the tacky feeling that I don't particularly like in a primer. I know some people really like that because they feel like it helps their makeup last longer. This stuff didn't help my makeup last longer. The tackiness did go away a bit after it dried down, so it wasn't horrible in that way, but it just didn't make my makeup last longer. It didn't seem to have a functional purpose other than being fun to squirt out of the can and make my face smell like alcohol. It just wasn't a functional product, unfortunately. At number 7 this year, we have a sunscreen, again sent to me by Derma, and this is a mineral sunscreen, and a lot of mineral sunscreens do leave a white cast. This white cast on this sunscreen was out of freaking control. It was so hard to blend in. At the price point that it's at, I expect a sunscreen to blend in. If I'm spending like $4 for a sunscreen, yeah, of course, I may have to rub it in a little bit extra, but not at the $19.75 price point. It should rub in pretty easily, and it was just so hard. The white cast is intense with this product. That being said, it's a functional sunscreen. It's a good sunscreen. It's a pain in the butt to rub in. And then this stuff peeled up over top of every single skincare routine that I tried it over. I have quite a few products that I kind of bounce back and forth. This sunscreen peeled up over everything. The only way I could use this sunscreen functionally was to not use it over any skincare at all and have that be my only skincare for the day, and that's just not my jam. And as far as bad products, this was the best of the worst products. And it's sad because Lauren Conrad, I really liked the eyeliner that Ipsy sent me from her. It is a really, really good liquid eyeliner, but the lip gloss, it was so nasty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's a functional lip gloss. It feels good on the lips. It doesn't have stickiness to it. It feels nice and smooth. The color was beautiful, but it smelled rotten. Like, it smelled like chemicals and just nastiness. It smelled awful. And the thing is I don't mind that so much as long as I know that it hasn't gone bad. It's a nice fresh product. It's just they didn't use enough whatever to mask the scent. Like, it's fine as long as it dissipates. This stuff lingered. The smell the awful smell lingered on my lips to the point where I just had to remove it. Because, you know, your nose is right here over top of your lips. If you have a bad smelling lip product, it's like, bleh. So yeah, this was a big no. It was awful. It was really awful. All right, that is it for the worst products that I tried in 2021. I have so many good products that I want to share with you, but some of them didn't fit in, so I just want to mention, honorable mention a couple of things for you that just didn't go into the, oh my gosh, this is life-changing, but they're really, really good. So first off, a couple Makeup by Mario products. I definitely want to mention the brow product. This was by far the best brow product I tried this year. I love the little clip. Oh, I always do that. I always open up the spoolie thinking that's the top. I think it's because the color's here and the stamp's there. I always do it wrong. But anyway, my point is this clicky thing is so freaking cool. It's just very satisfying. And I love that it goes down because sometimes when you roll up these kinds of pencils, they don't roll down at all or they don't roll down easily. So I like that. It's not too hard. It's not too squishy. It's just perfect. And the way that it spoolies out, I'm wearing it today, is that it just kind of moves the product around so that it's lighter, but it doesn't make the product go away so that you have to reapply. It's just the perfect freaking brow product. I love it. Another Discovery Makeup by Mario, the pressed blushes, also fantastic. I mean, it's a blush. It lasts all day. It goes on very easily. You can make it really light. You can build it up. It's just perfect. And it's all the shades. It's not just this one. This one is my favorite though. This one's in Desert Rose. It's really pretty. As far as lip products, these Milani lipsticks, I'm wearing them today. I'm actually wearing a pairing of these two. This one is in Passion, and then this one is in Pleasure. Love these. Just very creamy. As far as lasting power, once it kind of, the shininess kind of goes off your lips, you do still have a little bit of a stain left, which I also really, really like. Wears down very evenly. Just a fantastic, fantastic product. And then this was a late purchase that I want to mention. I'm wearing this today as well. This is the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. It is just a beautiful, soft focus finish. And at this price point, you just can't beat it. It's wonderful. Lasting power is wonderful. And just, I love the finish. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful foundation. Okay, so should we do palettes first or should we do 5 to 1 like my top products? Let's do palettes real quick. Let's talk about palettes and then I'll tell you, counting up to my best product of the year, the one that just was like completely life-changing. Let's talk about first the palette that's on my eyes today. I am using today the Lethal Cosmetics and Teresa Is Dead palette. It's called Lethal Is Dead. This is what's on my eyes. Oh my gosh, have I been loving this. Indie brands are just crushing it right now. Let's just say what it is. I used today these shades. This is Predator, Watery Grave, and Straight to VHS is the majority of what's on my eyes today. I think that's it. I think that's all. Oh wait, and then I think I have a little bit of Body Snatched in the inner corner on the lower lash line, but it's just fantastic. I mean, when I talk about all these palettes, every single one, easy to blend, easy to apply, don't have to ridiculously build them. Lasting power is fantastic. I'm not just gonna repeat that over and over again because that applies to every single one of these shadows. So I'm just gonna tell you kind of some of my favorites. I'm really, really enjoying this shade Straight to VHS. That's the one I've used the most. It is just, it's what's on the inner corner of my lid. It's heavenly. It's absolutely heavenly. It's so good. It's so good. The only thing is you just have to make sure you're careful how much you have on your brush because you do get some fallout as you apply if you have too much on the brush. But that's like typical. It's not a huge deal. Definitely not a deal breaker, but this is a fantastic palette. Next up, the Divine Rose 2 palette by Pat McGrath. Oh my gosh. Really, really loving this. People ask, is this worth $125? It depends on what $125 means to you when it comes down to it. Thankfully, this was gifted to me by a subscriber and I will be forever grateful because I am really, really loving this and I don't know if I would have purchased this on my own. And it's fantastic. This shade, because you know I love my duochromes, this one's the one that I use the most, but I will say I also really love this shade over here. And then let's see, anything else I'm using a lot? This shade, well, I mean, this is more of a typical shade, but that one too. I love that one's a little bit more of a topper shade. Just swatch those real quick and it just creates some really beautiful looks and just, it's a great palette. But is it worth $125? I think that's relative to who you are. It is a really good palette though if you are, wanting to spend something at for that price point. More recently, still absolutely loving the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. I did buy this at the Sephora sale and still really, really loving this. Completely different color story. I mean, you look at these two and you think they might be a similar color story, but they're really not. They're really quite different. They're very different. The only thing that might be the same is maybe this shade here and then this shade down here. Let's swatch them. I haven't swatched them next to each other yet, so let's see. Yeah, they're totally different. Totally different. Not even close. Yeah, I mean, no. Nope. In the pan, they look similar though. So again, just really fun color story here, very easy to use, a lot of very versatile, more natural looks. So if that's what you're going for, this is absolutely fabulous. And the packaging is so beautiful here. I don't know why I love this so much. Like just the way that it's inset a little bit here and the texture of the words rose quartz and everything. It's beautiful packaging. It's a beautiful palette. Two palettes from Kaleidos that I was introduced to this year through this collab, which is with Angie Newquist, who did the Club Nebula palette. This is a fantastic palette. If you're looking for a more wearable rainbow, this is it. This is the one. I'm more of a shimmer color person than a matte color person, so I'm definitely gravitating more toward the shimmer shades, but the matte shades are fantastic too. These do get a little stuck when you're blending. You have to really put some elbow grease in it to get them to move because they're just so pigmented, but they're really beautiful. A shade that I've been loving that I didn't expect to love is this shade Gravity. Really, really beautiful. I also love this one, You're My Only Hope. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. And then what else have I been using a lot? Let's do Rock Hopper. That's a really good one too. Just beautiful looks, really fun to play with, and just very high quality. Just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. They did a fantastic job on this. Great job, Angie! And then after I received that in PR, Angie got me on their PR list, so therefore I was able to get the Flower Punk palette, and this is one I've been loving too. This is a very unexpected color story. I mean, with, you know, the mauves and like the yellowy mustards and then the greens, like I would never in a million years have thought to come out with a palette like this, but they really go nicely together. Let me just swatch a little bit in here so you can kind of see how it ends up working. And it's like, really? Really, that works? And it's like, yes, it does. I mean, it's just fun. It's creative and fun. And I never would have thought of it. And again, quality is just fantastic. I do find that these shadows are just a little bit easier to blend than the Club Nebula ones. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the shades, but it's a wonderful palette. I swear I did not pick influencer palettes on purpose. It just happened to be what came into my life that I really loved this year. So let's talk about Odin's Eye, the Red Dragon palette that was a collab with Judy, the Hummingbird palette collab with Tina from the Fancy Face, and then the Giant Wolves palette with Annette's Makeup Corner. And I will tell you, I probably use these two more than I use the Red Dragon. I don't know what's going on with this one where I feel like it's just not, I don't know, I'm not feeling it as much, and I don't know why. I think it's a personal preference thing. I just haven't reached for as much. Maybe because I already have some of these shades in other palettes, maybe that's why, but it's still a very good palette. I mean, I don't know, I'm just being honest here. But if I had to pick shades in here that I really do love, it would probably be these two, definitely. I also love this olive green. I've just been digging on the green shadows this year. Let's see if I can get it. Bam, bam, bam. This one right here is probably my favorite in the palette, just really beautiful. The Giant Wolves palette, definitely, I will say definitely, Eternal is my favorite shade in this palette. It's so special. It's just a very special shade. I've also been loving Ablaze and also Skull. This one here, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hopefully I am. Really, really fun there. That didn't swatch very well because it was my ring finger. Let me do that one more time. There we go. That's more true to what you're getting. And every time I wear Giant Wolves, I have people telling me, oh my gosh, your makeup looks amazing. Every single freaking time. And then of course my girl Tina at the Fancy Face did a fantastic job. It's a completely different palette than those over there. Fancy has definitely been a favorite, and of course I've been telling you I've really been loving my green. Feathers has been a favorite, and then I would probably say Clear Blue is still just a standout shade for me. Like really? Really? Oh, Odin's Eye just crushed it, just absolutely crushed it. I'm really looking forward to trying more from Odin's Eye. That's all I've tried from them, but I should be making an order in 2022. We'll see if I actually do, but I should be. And then finally, I did want to mention the Disney Princess Cinderella palette by Sigma. Also really been loving this, and I think the color story in here, again, just like the Flower Punk one, it's not typical. It's so unique, and it's so hard to do a unique color story these days with like the browns here and the blues and the purples. It's so cool. My favorite shade in here is definitely Sweet Nightingale. Oh my gosh, I've been loving that. Also, this Bitty Bitty Boo one is wonderful. If you need a gold, this gold is gorgeous as well. That's called Charming, and it's just fantastic. I keep having to roll my sleeve down. Why don't I just leave it down? I don't know why don't I just leave it down. But really, really, it's wonderful. It's a fantastic palette. So those are my favorite palettes of the year. Now I do want to let you know, as far as the top 5, these are the products that really made a difference in my life. These are the ones that I was like, wow, I am going to be using these products forever. So let's start with the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. Now, I actually mentioned this twice by accident. I mentioned this in 2 favorites and fails videos by accident because it's just such a good brush. So the reason why this is so good is because of the 2 sides here. Because when I put on my foundation, I want to go boom, boom like this. And I feel like a flat top Kabuki, I want to go like this. But with this, it really fits into all the cracks and crevices while you're putting on your foundation. You can really get around your nose and, you know, on the forehead and everything. It's just so freaking easy to use. It's so soft. It's such a great brush. And it's dirty right now. And it's in my like little area to wash. I just haven't washed it. But it's constantly dirty because I'm constantly reaching for it. It's a fantastic brush. Now, number 4, I actually don't have anymore, and it was the Shop Miss A Beauty Blender bundle thing. It was called the Blender Vault gift set. It was $11.60 for all of these beauty sponges, and they were all fabulous. Every single one of them. The only one I had trouble with was the fuzzy one, and it was because I was using it wrong. And I had to do a review of it and have y'all tell me, hey, Jen, the reason why it's not working and why it's streaking is because you're supposed to use it dry. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. And you're supposed to also use it with powder. So that was a thing. And once I've learned how to use it, either dry and or with powder, I loved it. It's just, I was using it wrong. But it was, for the price point to get all of these beauty sponges and high quality beauty sponges, just, oh my gosh, oh, if you're buying anything from Shop Miss A, I feel like that's the thing to buy. Now, this was sent to me in PR, and I almost said no. Because I was like, I already have a makeup mirror. I love my Simple Human makeup mirror, and they sent it to me, Simple Human sent it to me a long time ago, and I've always used my Simple Human, always loved it, never had a problem with it. And it's one of those things where sometimes you don't realize what you're missing until you have something and you're like, this was missing from my life. That's what happened with this. So this is a brand new brand called Ilios, and it is their lighted makeup mirror. This thing is special. I don't think I put this in a favorites and fails. I think I put it in a what's on my face for what's up in makeup one day. So if you've been watching only favorites and fails, you may not have seen this yet. So let me just show you how it works without like exposing too much of my life through the mirror. So of course you have the one side that's magnification, and then the other side that's just your regular. You have your light setting. Oh, it's not plugged in. Let me plug it in. Hold on a second. All right. So now I've got it plugged in. Okay, so you push the button in the middle, and that is 50%. So then you can push it and you can make it go up to, that's 75, that's 100, that's 10%, 25, and then back to 50. Let me turn it down because my lights are making this look obnoxious. Okay, so let's put it down to 10%. You can also, like, it's on cool right now, but you can also do a blend of warm and cool, or you can set it to warm, which I really like. But this is the thing that I think is really going to be a winner for a lot of people, is that not only is it a mirror, but it is also a ring light. So all you do is you push down on this top here, and then this swings out, and you can use it like a ring light. And this is the money thing, I think, if you're doing the whole Instagram / YouTube thing, is that this swings down, and then they give you a little clip, and you can clip your phone. into there. Like, what? Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Like, I don't know like how they thought of this, but I wish I had thought of it. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't use any of the ring light features on this. Knowing it's there is cool, but I honestly don't use it. I really only use it for the mirror, and it is just the best mirror. And if you haven't used a mirror with a light like this, whether it's this one or Simple Human or whatever, it is a game changer when it comes to applying your makeup to be in really good lighting. So yes, it is pricey, but I would pay every cent of this at full price to have this mirror. It is really worth it. I have had no problems with it. My only gripe about it is that you can only plug it in. There's no wireless option for it as far as like battery power, but that's really my only complaint about it. It is a wonderful mirror as far as the actual lighting of it and the magnification, everything. It's just the perfect mirror. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where did you go? I lost it. Where's my product? Been Cotton Eye Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Oh, I put it away. I used it and put it away. At number 2, you're probably tired of hearing me talk about this product, but I've talked about this all year for a reason. It has been game changing for me. This was sent to me by Milani. This is their Supercharged Brightening Under Eye Tint in the shade Peach. I have never found a color corrector that I like. Ever. I've used so many different color correctors. They always come out either too orange or they're too light or they just look weird. They're too thick. They crease in my under eyes. This is perfect. This corrects any under eye darkness that I have, and often I will use this and nothing else because it is so sheer and it just gives you that color correction very subtly without being overpowering. So I don't feel like I need to wear this with other makeup. I can just wear this and be done. And it just makes me so happy. It's just a really freaking good product. And there's nothing else to say to it. It's just a good product. And then finally, at number 1. Okay, this was a game-changing product for me because nothing else is commented on more negatively on my channel than my hair. If it's not my grays, then it's how thin my hair is. It's my flyaways. Like usually it's my hair that people have an issue with. So this has been wonderful. I do sponsor videos for FabFitFun, but this video is not sponsored. My thing with them was way over. I do not need to talk about any of these products ever again. But this was game changing for me. This is a Briogio Farewell Frizz Blow Dry Protection and Heat Protectant Cream. This, like, my hair has a little bit of flyaways. I didn't put any spray in my hair. None. Zero. I put no products in my hair other than this. Usually, in order to get my hair like this, I would need to use at least 3 products and hairspray to get it to be like this. This is all I need now. This is it. This is the one product. And it smells freaking amazing. It smells like, it's like candy fruit with a little bit of floral. Like, it smells so good. It makes my hair smell so good. It's just such a wonderful product. And when a product can like reduce stress in my life and make me feel good and happy, like that's a number 1 product to me. It has cut so much time and so many products out of my hair routine that I don't even know what else to say. Like, this is a miracle product for me, is what it comes down to. I've never found anything like this before, and I imagine I will be purchasing this forever because it's been game changing. So that's why it's at number 1. And at this point, my friend, it is your turn in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness where we help each other not to buy crap and to buy things that are totally worth it. I would love to know some of the worst products and best products that you tried in 2021. What do you think about the products that I included? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you would like to hang out a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a couple videos for you right over here to watch. But if it is your time to go, it is absolutely no problem at all. Thank you so much for hanging out as long as you did, and I'd love to, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye! Happy 2022!